introduce yourself to the court?
My name is Cody and I am a junior at Truman High School.
What was your relationship with Taylor Jennings?
I've gotten to know Taylor through classes and extracurricular activities. We also have third hour advanced chemistry and fourth hour study hall together.
And what was your relationship with Chris Hall?
I've gotten to know Chris through classes also, and we also share third hour advanced chemistry together.
How did Taylor and Chris act during class?
Taylor and Chris, they were always just jockeying for Coach Devaney's attention. They were competing against each other, always trying to correct each other in class. It was just kind of cute to see that.
Let's move on to talk about February 28th. Your Honor, may I still keep the publishment of Exhibit 9 up there and have my witness step down to it?
Yes, ma'am.
Chris Hall and Taylor Jennings, were they both in class during this day?
Yes, they were.
And at the beginning of class, where were you seated?
At the beginning of class, I was here at my desk.
And where was Chris Hall?
Chris was at his desk.
And where was Taylor Jennings?
Taylor actually came in late that day to class, rushing in as the bell was about to ring.
Where was your teacher, Mr. Laney?
She was at the blackboard writing lab instructions for that day.
Now during class, where were all three of you?
Taylor was at this table and walked over to his desk.
And where were you?
I was on the central lab table sitting here.
And where was Chris Hall?
Chris was working at this lab table.
Now you stated in your statement that you saw suspicious behavior, correct?
Yes.
And where were the backpacks in class during this day?
The backpacks are basically where you leave it. That day, Chris and Taylor's backpacks were in between their desks.
And what happened after Taylor Jennings went to his desk?
Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Taylor go to his desk, sit down, and then proceeded to kneel in between the backpacks.
So you would say right here between the backpacks?
Yes.
And what happened after Taylor kneeled down to the backpacks?
It appeared to me that Taylor was putting something into a dark-colored backpack.
Could you recognize what this was?
It appeared to be something that was about this tall and this wide around. It appeared to be a film canister.
Your Honor, may I approach? Let the record reflect that I'm handing Your Honor, opposing counsel, and the witness what has been previously marked as Exhibit 1. Could you tell me what this is?
This is a film canister that is consistent to what I saw that day. It is the same height and width of what I saw that day.
Your Honor, the defense would now like to move Exhibit 1 into evidence.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor. And may I publish to the jury?
It's admitted and you may publish.
Sorry. So you say that this is accurate to what you saw during third block?
Yes, it is consistent with what I saw that day.
What color was the backpack that you saw?
I can't be sure the color. It was a dark-colored backpack.
What other classes do you have with Taylor Jennings?
Taylor and I also have study hall together, which starts at 9:45.
How did he act during class on February 28, 2011?
During class, I overheard Taylor telling a group of students that he had seen somebody with drugs and reported it to Principal Norris.
And what did you think of this?
I really didn't think anything about it until I heard later on that Chris had been arrested for possession.
Now let's talk about Chris Hall's and Taylor Jennings' ACT scores. You knew Taylor and Chris's ACT scores?
I did.
And what did Taylor think Chris's ATC score was?
I had talked to both, and I knew that both had received a 33. But Chris had asked me to tell Taylor that he had received a 35.
And how did Taylor feel about this?
Taylor was extremely upset about it, even asked me multiple times if I was correct on what Chris's score was.
Thank you. No further questions.